Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Expat Financial Blueprint. You know, retirement planning is a big deal, and today we're going to be diving deep into how to plan specifically as an expat.
Okay, sounds good.
We're looking at this article called Retirement Planning. Expats are woefully unprepared for retirement. Are you one of them?
Wow, that title, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, it definitely got our attention.
It did.
And you know, one of the things that really stood out was that nearly half of expats don't even have a retirement plan in place.
It's a staggering statistic, isn't it? And the irony is that the article also mentions that almost all expats say retirement is a top priority for them.
Right, like it's important to them, but they're just not doing anything about it.
Exactly. So the question is, why this disconnect? Why aren't people taking action? And the article sort of points to this idea of what they call the mañana mentality. And you know this, I'll get to it later. I have plenty of time kind of thinking.
Yeah, putting it off.
Exactly. And they use this example of a woman named Jane, a very successful business development director. She had been living this, expat life in Asia for years, enjoying it, but hadn't really given retirement much thought. And then she hit her late 40s, and suddenly retirement felt a lot closer than she expected.
Oh, I can imagine that would be a bit of a wake-up call. So what happened with her story?
Well, Jane's story, unfortunately, isn't all that unique. I mean, she started to panic, right? Because she realized her savings just might not be enough to maintain her lifestyle. She hadn't really factored in things like inflation eating away at her money,
Yeah.
or how the ups and downs of exchange rates could impact her funds.
Yeah, that can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. And even healthcare costs. That's something people don't always think about. It was like she'd been so focused on her career, on living in the moment, that the future just hadn't really sunk in.
It's like she was living for today.
Exactly.
So I get what you're saying is start planning sooner rather than later.
Absolutely. The earlier you start, the more options you have, and the less stressful it'll be down the line. But, and this is important, it's never too late to make a plan.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, even if you're starting a little later than you'd hoped, the key is to be aware of the common pitfalls, the mistakes that expats often make.
Okay, so let's talk about those mistakes. The article mentions a whole bunch of really thought-provoking questions that people should be asking themselves.
Yeah, it does.
Which ones do you think are most relevant for, let's say, our clients who tend to be high net worth individuals?
Well, for someone with, let's say, significant assets, it's not just about having a plan, it's about making sure it's the right plan.
Right.
One question that often gets overlooked is your plan truly inflation-proof? You see, many people think they're saving enough, but they don't account for how inflation slowly but surely erodes the value of their money. It's like having a slow leak in your savings bucket.
I like that analogy, a leak in your savings bucket.
Yeah, and you might not even notice it at first.
Right, right. And I imagine exchange rates are another big one, especially for anyone with assets in multiple countries.
Absolutely. Exchange rates, they can be so volatile, and those fluctuations can have a big impact on your retirement savings.
Yeah, trying to predict them can feel like trying to hit a moving target.
Exactly. And then there's the lifestyle question. How do you plan for a future when you might not even be sure where you'll be living or what you'll be doing?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, will you stay in Asia, go back home, maybe explore a completely new part of the world?
Each choice comes with its own set of financial considerations. And beyond location, what will you actually do with all that free time?
Yeah, that's the fun part to think about. Travel, new hobbies, spending time with family, starting a new venture.
Exactly. It's about painting a picture of what you want your retirement to look like. And then, of course, we have those expat-specific challenges that we've talked about before, things like not having a home country pension to rely on.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's like a safety net that many expats just don't have.
And then there's the whole issue of managing international accounts, navigating the tax implications of different countries. It can get really complicated really fast.
Yeah. Not to mention figuring out healthcare coverage outside of a company plan.
Right. That can be a real headache. So it's clear that having a solid plan is crucial.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But it also sounds like trying to do it yourself might not be the best way to go.
Well, that's where having the right team comes in.
Yeah, okay.
You need people who really understand the ins and outs of international finance.
Right, the specialists.
Exactly. People who've been there, done that, and can guide you through the entire process.
Yeah, and that's something we hear a lot from our clients here at Wealth Architects Global. Yeah, they're successful people, but they're just feeling overwhelmed by all the information out there.
Yeah.
And they just want someone they can trust to help them make sense of it all.
And that's where I think the traditional financial services industry sometimes misses the mark.
In what way?
Well, they often focus too much on selling you individual products,
Hmm.
rather than helping you create a holistic plan that takes everything into account.
Right, it's like giving you a bunch of ingredients without a recipe.
Exactly. What you really need is a team that takes the time to listen to your goals, understands your values, and builds a plan that's truly tailored to your unique situation.
Absolutely. It's not about cookie-cutter solutions. It's about finding what truly works for you and your aspirations.
Exactly. So we've covered some of the challenges here and highlighted why a well thought out plan is so important. But now I think it's time to move beyond the why and getting to the how.
Yeah, let's get practical. What are some strategies and tools that our listeners can use to start building that secure and fulfilling retirement they're dreaming of?
Great question. Let's dive into some of those strategies and equip you with the tools you need to navigate this complex landscape. When it comes to building a solid retirement plan, I think one of the first things you need to do is really understand what you want that retirement to look like.
It's not just about the numbers.
No, not at all.
It's about lifestyle.
Right.
So where will you be living? What will you be doing? Will you be traveling the world, pursuing new hobbies, spending more time with family?
Exactly. Having a clear vision of that lifestyle helps you determine how much you actually need to save
Okay,
and how your investments need to perform to support that vision. It's about aligning your finances with your aspirations.
I like that. And of course, we can't forget about those expat-specific challenges we talked about earlier, things like the lack of a home country pension
Right.
and those sometimes unpredictable currency fluctuations.
Yeah, those are big ones.
Yeah.
And that's where diversification becomes so important.
Okay.
You don't want all your eggs in one basket, right? You
Mm.
want to spread your investments across different asset classes, different geographic regions, different currencies.
So it's about building a portfolio that can handle the ups and downs of the market.
Exactly. Think of it like building a house.
Okay.
You wouldn't build a house on just one pillar, would you?
No, you need a good foundation.
You want multiple strong pillars to ensure stability and resilience. And then when you start thinking about managing those international accounts and navigating the complexities of different tax systems, well, it can be overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. Just knowing where to begin can be a challenge.
Absolutely. That's where having a trusted financial advisor who really understands expat finances can be so valuable. They can help you navigate those complexities, make sure your plan is tax efficient, and keep you on the right side of all those international regulations.
It's like having a guide who knows the terrain and can help you avoid those hidden pitfalls.
Exactly. And they can also help you adjust your plan along the way, because let's be real, life rarely goes exactly as planned.
That's true. It's like sailing a boat. You need to adjust your sails to account for the wind and the currents if you want to reach your destination.
I love that analogy. It's so true. And it's interesting. We often see expats delaying seeking professional advice.
Really?
Yeah, they think they can manage everything themselves. But the truth is, international finance and retirement planning can be incredibly complex.
It's like trying to build a house without a blueprint.
Exactly. You might be able to put some pieces together, but it's unlikely to be structurally sound or meet your specific needs.
So a good financial advisor can provide those missing blueprints,
Yes,
helping you avoid those costly mistakes.
absolutely. And make informed decisions that set you up for a more secure future.
And it's not just about the technical side of things either, right?
Oh.
It's about having someone who understands your personal goals, your values, someone who can provide that reassurance and guidance and helps you feel confident about your financial future.
Absolutely. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that's often overlooked in retirement planning: estate planning.
Okay, estate planning. I have to admit that's not the most exciting topic,
Yeah, I know.
but it's important, right?
Mhm.
Especially for expats with assets in multiple countries.
It is. It's about making decisions about how your assets will be managed and distributed after you're gone.
So things like creating a will, establishing trusts, designating beneficiaries.
Exactly. It's about ensuring that your loved ones are taken care of according to your wishes and that your legacy is preserved.
And I imagine for expats, with those different legal systems and tax jurisdictions, it gets even more complicated.
Oh, absolutely. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with pieces from different boxes.
Wow.
You need someone who understands how those pieces fit together. A well-structured estate plan can help minimize conflicts, reduce potential tax liabilities, and ensure your assets are distributed according to your wishes.
So it's about peace of mind, knowing that you've taken care of your loved ones and your legacy.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from envisioning your ideal retirement to the importance of diversification and expert guidance.
We have.
But before we move on, I just want to emphasize something we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
There's no one-size-fits-all approach to this.
Absolutely not. Each person's situation is unique. Their goals are different, their risk tolerance varies, and their financial circumstances are constantly evolving. That's why it's so crucial to work with an advisor who understands those individual needs and can tailor a plan that's right for you.
So whether you're just starting your expat journey or you're nearing retirement, being proactive and informed can really make all the difference.
It's about taking control of your financial future and creating a plan that gives you confidence and peace of mind.
Okay, so we've talked about the why and the what of retirement planning.
Right.
Now let's get into the how. What are some concrete steps that our listeners can take today to start building that brighter financial future?
Honestly, one of the most important things is to just start early.
Okay.
The power of compounding is really quite remarkable. The sooner you start saving and investing, even if it's just a little bit, the more time it has to grow.
So it's about consistency.
Exactly. Even small, consistent contributions over time can make a huge difference.
It's like planting a tree, right? The earlier you plant it, the bigger it grows.
Yeah, exactly. And as you move through your career and hopefully your income grows, you can increase those contributions gradually.
So starting early is key. But what else can our listeners do to get a better grip on their finances?
Creating a budget and really tracking where your money's going is crucial. It helps you figure out where you might be able to cut back and save a little more. It's about making conscious decisions about your spending rather than just wondering where it all went.
Yeah, being mindful of those daily expenses can add up.
Exactly. And speaking of spending, let's talk about debt for a minute.
Okay.
High interest debt, like credit card debt, can really eat into your savings.
It's like you're working so hard to earn money, but then it's just disappearing before you can even use it.
Exactly. So making a plan to pay down that debt can free up a lot more cash flow for saving and investing.
Okay, so you've got your spending under control. You're managing your debt. What's next?
Well, then you can start exploring different investment options.
And I imagine this is where having a financial advisor who really gets international investing comes in.
Absolutely. There's just so much to consider with all the different markets and currencies. A good advisor can help you build a portfolio that matches your risk tolerance and your goals.
So it's all about having that personalized strategy.
It is, and remember that foundation analogy we talked about. Diversification is a key element in building a strong financial foundation.
Right, spreading those investments around.
Exactly. So we've covered starting early, creating a budget, managing debt, and diversifying investments.
A lot of good stuff.
It is. And again, I can't emphasize enough how important it is to have the right team on your side. People who understand the unique world of expat finances and can guide you every step of the way.
It makes all the difference.
Building a secure and fulfilling retirement, it's a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. It's about taking those steps, big and small, that move you toward your goals.
One day at a time.
Exactly. And to our listeners who might be feeling a little overwhelmed by all of this, remember you don't have to figure it all out on your own.
That's where we come in.
That's right. Here at Wealth Architects Global, we work exclusively with expats just like you.
We get it.
We understand the challenges, and we're here to provide that guidance, that support, and the expertise you need to build a brighter financial future.
We believe everyone deserves to enjoy their retirement years, to pursue their passions, and to live a life filled with purpose and joy. And with a bit of planning and the right support, it's absolutely achievable.
It is. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this thought. Think about what your dream retirement looks like. What brings you joy? What do you want to be able to do? And then ask yourself, what's one small step you can take today to make that dream a reality?
That's a great question for everyone to ponder. Thank you for joining us on the Expat Financial Blueprint. We hope this deep dive has been helpful, and we're here to support you on your journey toward a fulfilling retirement. Feel free to reach out to us if you'd like to learn more. Until next time, take care.